Hey everyone, this is Abdul Ali, and welcome to the episode one of the podcast Breaking the Stigma and Post-Traumatic Growth and Identity with Abdul Ali. Today I'm going to talk about the post-traumatic growth with the stigma conscious approach to resilience and post-traumatic growth. It understands that stigma has a big effect on how people go through and deal with difficult situations like trauma. It could be anything like loss of a loved one or a traumatic event. It shows that stigma can drain people resources and change the way they recover or grow from tough experience. This approach also stresses the importance of recognizing how people from marginalized groups are affected differently by stigma and how that changes how they handle hardships. So let's talk about how the people heal from it and the stigma conscious framework for post-traumatic growth because has many different factors, like five post-traumatic growth components are going to be struggle, in which experiences the pain and disorientation that trauma brings. The second one is going to be survival. It focuses on stability and coping day by day. And third is going to be reflection, the beginning to make meaning of what happened and how it's impacted you. It can be anything like how it impacted you mentally and physically. And fourth one is going to be rebuilding, taking small steps to align your life with your values and needs. And the fifth one is going to be transformation, noticing new perspective, strengths, and sense of possibilities arising from your experience. In this podcast, I'll be focusing on a powerful model called Stigma Conscious Framework for Resilience and Post-Traumatic Change, which is developed by King. It offers a way to understand how people use awareness of their social struggles, whether tied to race, gender, or ability to grow from stronger, more resilient, and even thrive. So if you ever wonder how someone can move from pain to power, or how stigma can actually lead to transformation, in this podcast, I'm going to talk about it. Let's go to the next slide. So the stigma conscious framework. This model is especially important because it centers the experience of individuals who live with chronic identity-based stigma like racism, ableism, or discrimination based on gender, sexuality. Instead of ignoring the stigma, that model encourages people to become aware of it. That awareness becomes a tool, not just for survival, but for future growth. And its core, this framework says that people who face stigma can still achieve post-traumatic growth, but the path to growth looks different. It's not about how bouncing back, it's about transforming by resisting the messages that society tries to impose on us. It's also meaning making, finding strength, and finding new possibilities, purpose through understanding how stigma has shaped your life, then deciding how you want to reclaim your identity and narrative moving forward. For example, someone who has been through identity is less than may begin to see that problem was never them. It was the bias system. So there are five factors that I highlighted for this framework. The first one is going to be stigma awareness. Second is going to be meaning making through resistance. Then social context of trauma, empowerment, and growth. And the last one is going to be resilience rooted in identity. And I use these two pictures to, you know, show how the first one is the picture of someone being free, and the second one is people with their, they're not talking, they're, So in this type of situations, what you need to do is like, if you have a loved one or anyone, like family friend, you need to talk about your, trauma. It will help you relieve your stress and anxiety. And if we talk about my story, identity and sport or stigma and family experiencing, growing up, I saw how stigma can shape how people view themselves, whether it's due to race, class, or just not fitting into certain expectations. At the same time, I have seen importance of sport, whether family or it could be sport from your friends or a community organization. In my experience, family has played a big role in shaping both challenges I have faced and sport I have had to overcome them. They are part of my identity that weren't always understood or accepted, whether by society or even within my own community. But over time, I have come to realize that sport can also come in different forms, so friend, mentor, or even cultural pride. These experiences help me resist internalizing stigma and instead start to reclaim and grow from it. I am a Muslim and I believe that whenever you're going through a hardship, there's always ease at the end. So we should always connect with God when we are going through hardships because in these type of situations, you need to stay strong spiritually because it can help you with your mental health and it can make everything better. What we need to do is just not take stress and think positive. And the last one is going to be concept of self-efficiency and self-resilience. So let's talk about resiliency. Resilience isn't just about bouncing back, it's about becoming stronger, more aware, more aligned with who I truly am. That's what stigma conscious framework supports, is the idea that even when the words tell you that you're less than, you can always rewrite that narrative and grow into something greater. And self-efficiency is a belief in your own ability to succeed in specific situation or to overcome challenges. It's the inner confidence that says, I can handle it. And even when things are difficult, is basically when you believe in your own power to get through hard times. So sometimes you just need to believe in yourself and work harder so you can get through everything. And I use these pictures. The one on the right hand side is showing a social sport that we get from society and family. And the on the left hand side it talks about how post traumatic growth can be beneficial after trauma. And yeah, thank you so much.